Here we go again then.
Another podcast.
Yep, another random subject from everyday life. Now, Elliot, this is calm before the storm, isn't it?
Yeah.
What subject shall we chat about today?
I think something to do with school days.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shall we compare school days from my day to yours now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, folks, welcome to episode 14. Well spotted there, Elliot. That's a big thumbs up. A tick, like in your homework. For that, I'll press the wrong button there. But yeah, welcome to Everyday Life, episode 14 of school days.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll be comparing our schools really, and this subject is literally endless. So yeah, when you think of school, you think of uniforms, your friends, cross country, in the rain, some holidays, your teachers, good or bad, punishment, homework, lessons, and so much more. So, where do we start on all of this subject, Elliot?
Good
what do you
question.
reckon?
Well, let's start with the basics. The location.
Yep, locations, how you get to school. Now, in my day, I lived actually 3 miles from the school.
3 miles.
Yeah. So I had a good 5-minute walk to the bus stop.
Yeah.
And we had to wait for the school bus to come around. And I think we were the only stop. I think they picked up before they got to us.
Yeah.
Had a few little pickups. I think we were pretty much the last stop then. It was straight to school.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it was a good 3 miles. And then obviously on the way home, we used to wait in our various queues for whatever destination there was and get the bus back. So, you know, that used to take a little while really. So, what about you? How do you get to school?
Well, my school is pretty much just down the road, really, isn't it? So I walk to school. That only takes about 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah, and that's a nice little walk, yours, isn't it?
Yeah, a nice quiet road, the back way.
Yep, and there's that little gap, isn't there?
Yes.
Little gap where you can see, what can you see through that little gap?
The beach.
Wow. I mean, that must be a great walk to school, no matter what the weather. So, do you find yourself looking at that gap or not?
I do, every day.
Oh, that's good. So, yeah, that's a nice little walk, and of course, walk home. And you walk home with a friend, don't you?
Yes.
Who do you walk home with?
Harvey, my mate Harvey.
Oh, hello, Harvey. If you're listening tonight or over the next few days.
Hello.
Yeah, that's a nice little walk home for you two, isn't it? Yeah. And then who takes you in? Your mum sometimes takes you in, don't she? Just walks.
Yeah.
And if it's raining, you get a lift from me, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, other people, could use their bike, and a lot of people bike. Yeah. Some people get a taxi, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I know someone who gets a taxi.
And a bus as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I often see all the school kids waiting for the buses.
Yeah.
Back into like Great Yarmouth
or Hive
or the surrounding areas. What about your uniforms?
Yes.
Now, what is your uniform like, and what school do you go to? Obviously, I know that, but the listener doesn't.
Yes, well, I go to Caister.
Caister Academy, isn't it?
Yes, and well, the old uniform used to be black, but they changed it a couple of years ago. We had a vote whether we wanted grey or navy, and the result was grey. So we have grey skirt or trousers, and a grey blazer and just a shirt and tie.
Yeah.
The basics.
And
special.
Yeah, I remember that black one well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And were there a few with the original black blazers? Because you could use the black ones for a couple more years, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Before they officially.
That was me.
Yeah. Actually, we hang that one out, didn't we? We hang it out. It still fitted you.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Well, I reckon that probably felt all right though, being one of the last ones with the older black blazer on. What did you think?
I wasn't a fan. The first year it was about 50-50, and then the one after that, the final one, there was only a few of us. Yeah,
it was there.
Yeah.
And of course they can get expensive nowadays, can't they?
They can.
Getting the uniform. So I mean, in my day it's pretty much basic trousers. It was a black blazer. It was a special one with the school badge. My secondary school, that was a school called Malden Plume in Essex. So Yeah, and then just a basic tie. I think sports, PE, it was just, white t-shirt and white shorts. So it's all basic stuff. But now you have to get quite a lot, don't you? What other things are added, apart from your school uniform, with your shoes and your trousers, your blazer, and your shirt and tie? What else do you have?
They're strict with the socks.
Yeah.
You can't have white socks and you can't have light grey socks. They've got to be plain dark grey or black socks.
Have they? Dark grey or black?
Yeah, and they got to be smart shoes, no trainer type looking ones.
Have they always got to be polished? Do you get pulled up if they're not polished?
They say polished shoes, but no one really cares whether they're polished or not.
No. Well, but if you have some people have a quick game of football before they go in, they'll be going in with scuffed shoes and everything, won't they?
Yeah, they do. They have a chance to sort it out in form.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. And if they're seen again in the corridor, then that's detention for them.
So, yeah, I mean, that can work out. Quite expensive, can't it? For you? Yeah. Now, we have something a little bit special for you now. We have now, on the episode photo, folks, there is a picture of me in my school day. And then 40 years later, Elliot, with a very special blazer on.
Yeah.
Which, if you spot the difference between these two school uniforms, Elliot's got a lot of badges on, and on mine, 0. So, I have got that blazer here, and it's a nice grey one. Now, looking at it from the top,
my prized possession.
Top right now, I think when you do leave school, Elliot, you should have this framed. What do you reckon?
I'll keep it, definitely.
Yeah. So we'll just quickly run through the badges, but obviously this is a smart, up to date school blazer. It's got the school badge on it, and you've got badges on the right and on the left, and you've got 3, 6, 9 on the right, and about 3, 6, 9, about 10 or 11 on the left. Now, you've got Caister Science Gold Award.
Yep. That was from Science Club.
Right, okay.
We got bronze, silver, and then gold.
And then you've got Caister Mathematician Science. Are those from your clubs?
Yeah, they're from my clubs.
And what's that one? Looks like a travel agent.
It's the pi symbol.
Oh.
Pi badge. And I think that was just for good work in maths.
Was it? What?
Yeah.
That's a unique one, that one, isn't it?
I love pi. I can recite 200 digits of it, so that's very...
You can.
On a good day.
On a good day. What about, just very quickly, can you... 10?
3.1415926535889.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. I'll do about 3, I think. 3.14. But I could probably learn them. Right, yeah, so you've got
We've
maths.
got the Maths Challenge, Junior and Intermediate. That's a sort of nationwide maths mathematics puzzle thing. Participation and bronze.
And the last one, folks, on the right-hand side, if you can see on the picture episode, there's a yellow one. It says Physical Education Mastery. Now, what did you get that for?
Yes, well, they give out subject badges for who's done the best in some subjects, and I got that for one of my options, sports science.
Oh, that's very smart. And then you got up here, 100% attendance, 21 to 22.
Yeah. Now,
your attendance record, that has been spot on, hasn't it? Now, that's quite a good record, isn't it? You haven't had a day off, have you, since you've been at Coastal Academy?
Yeah. No
so
days
all
off.
Your secondary school, 100% attendance, you get that certificate and badge every single year, don't you?
Yeah.
And you got another 100% there. Yeah. And what are these stars for?
These
got
stars.
Some silver stars.
I don't think they do them anymore, but you used to get a star for every 50 reward points you got.
Ah, and just before we quickly chat about reward points, what's this one?
The top one there is the German subject badge.
Oh,
And then the geography subject badge. I also have the history one.
So, reward points.
Yes.
Is that like a Tesco club card?
You could call it that if you really wanted to.
Do you get, good behaviour, good marks, you get rewards?
Yeah, so at my school we've got four things we focus on. Ambition, opportunity, character, and something else. So there's A1 for ambition, opportunity awards. I don't know.
So that sounds quite good. Do you get a double your points offer?
No.
No, you
no
can't
doubles.
double your points.
No.
Well, folks, we have a little comment here. We've got a comment from Sean Dunn. So, hello, Sean. And he comparing the two school eras from when he grew up which was early 90s when he was at school or secondary school, to now, he thinks the kids nowadays can't get away with stuff like we used to. Which is true, yeah. And as for homework, parents today can see exactly what you've completed, which we can. We get emails to say you see that you've completed a task, and there's no getting away with not doing it or being late. And also skiving. I mean, we could skive off for the day and completely run riot, really, and forge a note from your parents, which was probably sufficient to get away with. But there's probably no chance of that now.
No, definitely not.
So, with notes like what Sean said there, can you still, like, if you want to get out PE, do you reckon you can get away with it? Could you forge a note?
I've genuinely thought about this before, because I hate PE, but I still wouldn't do it. I just suffered. I reckon if the handwriting is good enough, that they're not going to check.
No.
But they'll be more suspicious.
Do you still get notes, though? Do you have any of your friends or people in your class who get out of certain lessons because they hand in a note? Does that still go on?
Yes.
It does?
Yeah.
Ah.
And some are genuine. I don't know of anyone who's faked it, but I imagine there's still a lot of people.
Yeah. It's obviously harder to do that sort of nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Than those, especially with the homework.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it, we sort of get notifications that your homework is done.
Yeah.
So there's no sort of cheating there nowadays. Yeah, all right, thanks for that one, Sean. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. We are going to come up to our first random fact of the day. So let's have a little drum roll.
You know me. I'm always hungry for statistic-rich random facts. So here we go. As of the 2023-2024 academic year, there were 4,181 secondary schools in the UK. This includes state-funded schools and independent schools.
Oh, excellent random fact there, Elliot. Yeah, you do love your statistics, don't you?
Yes.
But you can't beat a decent
statistic
at the end of the day, can you? If you can say it right. But, well, with this subject, school days, we know it is literally endless. But what about, of course, the ultimate? What we go there for? Learning lessons.
Yeah.
Now, it was a long time ago for me. Pretty much nearing 40 years. Now, that's a hell of a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Long time ago. So my memory won't be as good as yours. Remember what you had. I can just remember the basics. Obviously, it was geography, history, art.
Yeah.
We had the sciences, including biology, physics, chemistry. I remember them well.
Yeah.
Of course, English, maths. There was a language. I think we did French studies, something called French studies.
Yeah.
And I think there probably was one or two others, but I can't really remember. But those are the main ones. So, but what about? How have they changed over the years?
Well, there are a lot more now. My school, they say they focus on creative art. So you've got art, drama, dance, catering, engineering. All that lot. Music. You've got 3 languages choices at my school: French, German, and Spanish. Right.
Okay. And you chose. Well, we'll chat about options in a minute. Yeah. But you chose German for that one, didn't you?
Yeah. There's more when you take your options that you haven't done before.
Right. Yeah. And that's when it could get interesting, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, with options, and you can't beat options, can you?
You can't.
I love things that are optional, and it's a good chance to drop subjects that that you've had enough of, maybe, or you just don't want to. You've got to that point. You just look. I don't want to do this subject anymore. Hey, it's options. I can drop it.
Catering. I hated it.
Did you? Catering?
Yeah. All that lot, really. Art and music and drama and dance. Just didn't see the point of it.
So obviously
for me.
You dropped all of them, didn't you?
Yeah.
And what subjects have you taken?
I've taken totally the core subjects, English, Maths and Science, and then for my options I took German, History, Geography and Sports Science. Ah,
okay, because the sports science sounds quite interesting, because I know you're not a great lover of sport.
No.
But what made you choose sports science?
Well, it's in the name. Science. I love the bloody thing. it's sort of to do with the science of sport. You've got
Yep.
the anatomy of the body and how the heart works when exercising and all that,
Yep.
all that lot.
And I was personally pleased, wasn't I, that you took this subject?
Yes.
Because I do like a lot of people probably know, like a lot of people do a bit of running and stuff, park runs, everything. And you've started a few park runs as well, Elliot, and a little bit of jogging. So that will be good. If you get any injuries or even any advice you can give me with that.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
I can link what I'm doing to what I'm doing in class,
Yeah.
so I can understand it better.
That's right. Well, that sounds an interesting subject. And was it hard to choose your options?
It was, because for quite a while I was going to pick photography instead of sports science. But then we had an options open evening where you had all the stalls with most of the subjects. And that's how I found out that I was going to do sports science.
And did you get any advice from your friends? Were you like messaging them saying, what are you going to do?
Yes, although they made sure they kept telling us not to pick subjects based off just what our friends are doing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I basically remember your options evening. They were all sitting at the desks trying to promote their subject and trying to get you to come into it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was quite good. Well, my options, obviously not as much of a choice as you get sort of nowadays. Now, but I actually took in my options. I took computer studies, which was just quite sort of basic, really. Had a little like Commodore or ZX81, and just used to mess about on the keyboard. And I think I learned how to do basic programs, how to literally write basic programs.
Some of my friends do computing.
Yeah, so that was quite good, because I luckily had a little Commodore 64 at home, or was it? I think it was in Amstrad. And I used to write a little quiz. I used to, with all the programs that I'd learned.
Oh yeah.
I wrote a little, like, a general knowledge quiz. And apart from that, I took economic and public affairs.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm not really sure why, but I think I was quite interested in politics at that stage. And so I took that. And you'll laugh at this one. I took needlework.
Did you?
Straight up. I took needlework because there was a girl who I fancied at the time, about 14, 15, who was taking it as well. So I took needlework. But I'll tell you what, that's coming handy. I mean, what was I doing before we started doing this? I was sewing up a hoodie, wasn't I?
You were, to be fair.
With the needle and the thread. So that came in handy for later years. So needlework. I think that's pretty much all I can remember from those. As I say, it was sort of quite basic stuff, really.
Yeah.
What about your friends and your form?
Ah, the Fs.
Now, have you got a good friend? Now, obviously, like a friend group is important at school, I think, isn't it?
Very important.
Good for support.
Yeah.
Morale. You have a laugh with them. You look forward to going in to seeing your friends.
Yeah, it motivates you to go in.
Yeah, and of course, it's the opposite if you haven't really. That could be, another. That could be a problem. But, so you've got. Is there anyone that you'd like to say hello to, Elliot? Any of your friends?
Well, I've already said hello to Harvey, but hello again. I don't know if anyone else will be listening.
Excellent.
Hello if you are.
Yeah. And
big if.
You've got a couple of others as well, haven't you? Like Jack and Lucy, people like that. So, and your form, you've got good form, haven't you?
Yes, I've got a great form teacher.
Yeah. Did you want to mention him, or is that optional?
It's optional.
Yeah. Okay. It's entirely optional to mention his name. But
he's great.
It's important to have a good form. You have quite a good laugh with your form, surely, don't you?
Yes, I do. He calls me the Admiral because of all of my badges.
Yep, he does, doesn't he?
Pretends I'm the second leader of the form.
That's right. And he's actually a big fan of one of your favourite shows, Taskmaster, as well, isn't he?
Alex Horn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're coming up to that in a short minute. I mean, as for me, in my day, to be honest, didn't really have any friends, or not many. And surprisingly, he might be quite shocked at this, but I was fairly quiet and shy, extremely quiet and shy at school. Obviously, that's changed over the years. I remember them always saying to put my hand up more.
Yes. I used to get that, but I think I've gotten better.
You've gotten better?
Yeah.
And what I used to do, I used to wait for the teacher to ask the question.
Yeah.
And wait for the first person to put their hand up, and the teacher was just saying their name to answer it, and then I'll put my hand up. hoping that they wouldn't choose me.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for me, where I was at the time, the primary school that I went to, a place called Tolson Darcy in Essex, and I had a few friends there.
Yeah.
Like what you did at like infant school or whatever. But all of those people, where we were in the catchment area. We could go to 2 schools. Now, all of my friends from primary school went to a school in Tiptree called Thurstable.
Oh,
all of them, the whole lot. I lived a little couple miles further towards Malden, so I got into Malden Plume.
Oh.
So I lost sort of them all as friends. I did keep in touch with a couple of them for a couple of years, and then we sort of lost touch. But we have found a couple. I found a couple of on Facebook over years. But I did find I did make one friend. I don't know how I met him because he was in another class. And I remember always waiting for him to come in. I used to get there earlier before he did. And I used to wait at the entrance, waiting for him to come in, and we had a little chat.
That's nice.
And a couple of people from his class. So I tended to get on better with people from other classes than mine. But yeah, and in form, well, again, it was the same form all throughout your secondary school. Now, how is it now? Is it all the same form?
Well, I've pretty much stuck the same, but because of some teachers leaving and going off, there were a few mix-ups, but mostly it stays the same.
Yeah, I suppose it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the same pupils, your same friends in your form class?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a set place to sit now, or do you just turn up and sit anywhere?
Well, there is supposed to be a seating plan, but my form teacher, because he's so great, he allowed us to pick where we sat and then placed that as the seating plan. Yeah,
well, that sounds pretty good. I mean, I think we pretty much had the same. All the same people in the same form throughout your secondary schooling. And again, in my form, I actually think pretty much used to sit on my own. So it wasn't great schooling, really. But anyway, we're going to go to another little comment now. We're going to go to, it's quite an amusing one, from Emily Gilbert. Now, she says she probably would have been excluded today. Back then, it was just hijinks. And she skived a lot. Put upturned drawing pins on head teachers' chairs. Nicked the maths A-level teacher's bag and hid it in the loos. And caused one teacher to cry and leave due to a breakdown. After tying string around all the chairs and tables. And she says they were pretty horrid. So that's an absolute belter from Emily there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So does that sort of behaviour go on at your school, Elliot?
No.
It used to be in our day. It used to happen quite a lot.
None of that now.
No, you don't get any of that. What would happen, do you reckon? What sort of... what would happen? Just get some sort of punishment, I reckon.
Well, yeah, we've got the system. So you get a warning, and then if you misbehave again, whatever that may be, you get a C1, which is just a fancy code for a 15-minute detention.
Yeah.
And then C2, it just escalates.
Yeah.
Longer detentions and.
I reckon there's quite a few punishments, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll chat about that a little bit later, actually. But one subject that does always interest me with schooling, right? Have you, Elliot, or have you ever seen anyone being picked on or anyone being bullied?
I guess I have. I haven't. Not really. I mean, there's certain people who like to annoy us.
Right. Yeah.
But not. No, not really.
Not really.
No.
I reckon it's probably more monitored now.
Yeah.
Than it was back then.
Yeah.
So if you did have a problem, if someone was bullying you or picking on you, what would you do? Would you tell a teacher, or would you keep it quiet, or would you try and sort it out yourself?
Well, on my school website, there's this thing called Student Voice.
Right.
So you can anonymously report something or someone. And get it sorted out.
Oh, wow. So that's really handy now. So
yeah,
I guess that could be an advantage nowadays of school in 2025 compared to like 30, 40 years ago where you can do something like that. So if you're having not necessarily bullying, but any sort of problem. Could you do it on that?
Yeah, I've used it.
Which makes it better than like telling a teacher about it, doesn't it?
Yeah, because that can be, quite difficult.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you haven't been bullied yourself. Well, unfortunately, Elliot, I was.
Oh.
Yeah, it was quite sad. I mean, it started off. Okay, there was 2 schools in Essex. Okay, there was that I went to. There was the lower plume for your first and second years, and then your third to fifth year. We'll talk about how it's changed to year 1 or year 9 later. That was the upper plume. So basically, 11, 12 years old, you're at the lower plume, and then you went to the upper plume for your final years. And I always remember waiting for the school bus to go into school, and I used to pretty much stand there on my own. And a boy who lived down my street, he used to often come up to me and just kick me or sort of punch me. And then that was even before getting to school. That was finally sorted out a good couple of years later, because I remember I just got a new uniform, so I'd outgrown my other one. And I remember saying to my dad, I said, I hope I don't get this dirty this morning, sort of when I get kicked, because I'd never mentioned anything before. And he asked me about it, and I mentioned about it. I said who it was, and he actually went into the classic telephone directory. Oh, yeah. Now, it used to be telephone directories where you had everyone's name in there and surname. And he looked up his surname, he found his number, he phoned him up. I think he got hold of his dad. He said, "Can you leave David alone this morning? Because he's just got a new uniform." And from that moment, pretty much, it was a good couple of years doing that. That part stopped. But it wasn't over yet, because when I was waiting for the bus home, this was at lower plume still, 11, 12 years old. When I was waiting for the bus home, I used to be fairly good at running, and this kid, his cousin was a good runner. And he always used to wind me up saying, "Oh, my cousin's much better than you. He's much faster than you." I wasn't interested in all that. And then again, a few punches, pushes, kicks. And yeah, it's often, well, sometimes you just go home on the school bus, like having a few little tears, just sort of looking away. And then we went up to the upper plume. I think he went on to another school, luckily.
Good.
Yeah. And then, but it still continued.
Oh.
When I was waiting for lessons, to go into lessons, when we was in the corridor, 2 or 3 people in particular used to come out of that queue and grab my bag, empty it out or chuck it again, punched, kicked, pushed, hair ruffled. This went on like for quite a few years. And obviously that affected me at school a little bit. It sort of got to the stage when I didn't really want to go in.
Yeah.
And it does affect you. You're probably obviously happy at school. I was unhappy at school, and I sort of hated it. Purely because of the bullying, really. But luckily, that finally did stop. It was my last year. It was in my 5th year.
Really?
Just something flipped. Something flipped inside me. I said, right, I've just had enough of this.
Yeah.
Even though I was shy and quiet then, perhaps that's when that change finally took place. And it was a catalyst for me, like in sort of later years, or to be a bit more, or for my maybe more rebellious sort of side nowadays. But yeah, I just basically fought back, and we ended up in a scuffle. I had him in a headlock in the corridor before we went in. And from that moment, they all left me alone.
Fair play.
So I had a whole year, my final year, of peace and quiet. And that was the important year with the exams.
Yeah.
But at the time, we were sort of moving up to Norfolk, so that's another story with renting places. So that just got over the bullying, so I still couldn't concentrate anyway on the exams. But anyway, yeah, that's bullying. It can be horrible if you have it done to you, and if there's no one to tell. Or you don't want to tell anyone. So your student voice, what you said earlier about it, that is really good advantage for now.
Yeah.
Rather than then, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And with the years, we just mentioned that. Like, I used to have years 1 to 5, first year, second year, third year, 5th year, and then 6th form. Now, I would still get confused. Explain your secondary school years now, Elliot.
All right, so purely secondary school, you've got year 7 to year 11.
Right, okay, yep. And you now are in year 10, aren't you?
Yes, my penultimate year.
You're in year 10. Yeah, definitely. And your penultimate year, which would have been the old 4th year.
I see.
So, yeah, and next year, 5th year. So I still find that hard to get used to.
Confusing, yeah.
Yeah, and it can be a little bit confusing, can't it? But I tell you what, shall we go to another random fact?
Yes, well, it's something we sort of mentioned before, but I've got more for you. So I'll list a load of subjects, and when you think I've stopped, I'll say a couple more. So the core subjects being English, Maths and Science. Other subjects which become options in Year 10 include languages, French, German, Spanish, history, geography, religious studies, computing, sports science, business, health and social care, art, photography, graphics, dance, drama, catering and engineering.
Well, yeah, some fantastic subjects out there.
Yeah.
And there's probably more subjects sort of nowadays, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a good variety.
Yeah, it's a really good variety. And of course, teachers. You can't.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a good or a bad teacher. A teacher they don't like, or a teacher they do like. But I think though, surely, if you've got a decent teacher, that's got to make you want to learn.
It does.
With some schools, they chopping and changing teachers all the time. You suddenly get used to a teacher who you really like, and you're learning. You're sort of there. They inspire you, possibly, and then they leave. Then you get someone else who's not so good, and surely that will affect your work in that class. Surely you would lose a little bit of interest.
It does. I can confirm that.
Yeah.
In maths.
Yeah.
And that is what I will say about that. But most of my teachers are really great.
Yeah.
Most.
So that definitely helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With a good or bad teacher. Now, have you had any really bad teachers?
Well, yes, I have. In science, my science teacher is amazing, but we had this trainee teacher for a few months, and it was just awful. I hated it. She couldn't control the class.
Yeah.
And, it was just because I saw my science teacher sitting on the side, and I was like, why can't we just have you, miss?
Yeah.
And when she said she was leaving, she was standing right in front of me, so I had to try and hide my excitement. I was like trying to look sad, and then as soon as I got out of the classroom, I was like, yes, she's gone.
I reckon everyone was high-fiving each other, weren't they?
It was a celebration. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Do you still have the register in the morning?
Register every lesson.
Do they call out your full name or just your first name?
First name.
Just your first name.
But if there's so in my year there's quite a lot of Finleys, they'll go for the initial.
Will they? What? Finley and then the surname? So if
Yeah.
it's like Finley Clark, let's say Finley C.
Yeah.
Well, do you reckon they'd be waiting for someone else, like Finley C me after school or something like that? Or I suppose they just get used to it that it's a register, don't they?
Yeah, I don't think there's bad jokes.
No.
I didn't mind that.
No. Well, yeah, certainly teachers then. Well, I don't think. Do you reckon it's changed over the years? I'm sure it might have changed a bit, but overall, you get a good teacher who you can really learn from all the bad teachers, and that obviously has happened in like our day as well.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Well, we've got another comment now, folks. This is from Russell Ray.
Exciting stuff.
Yep, evening, Russell. One memory that Russell has from his school days was with the weather like it is at the moment, sort of all cold and everything. At his break time, he got out in the playground with some fresh snow, and with him and his friend, they made the longest ice slide that ended up in the sandpit. And I reckon they had hours of fun.
That sounds great.
On that ice slide.
Yeah.
And that was roughly about 1978. So thanks for that one, Russell.
Any snow now and we can't go out in it.
No, that's right.
It gets everyone distracted. We're in lesson and then it starts snowing and then everyone's all excited about it. Then when it comes lunchtime, it's practically gone anyway. But if it's not, we're not allowed to go out in it.
That's right. You'd have thought, in this area we don't get much sun anyway, do we? So you'd have thought they said, right, kids, out you go and enjoy it. It'll be gone by lunchtime. So everything would have melted. But what about homework? Ooh. Now, who likes homework? You don't like homework, do you?
No, and I think I speak for everyone because I love school, but I hate the stuff.
Yeah, you hate homework.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
It's just like you've got hours at school.
Yeah.
And then I know why homework's important, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It's just a hassle.
Yeah.
I just want to come home from school and enjoy something that I like doing.
Yep.
And it's just boring.
Definitely. I mean, you know, that when we were at school, 30, 40 years ago, I don't think, we had a bit of homework, but I think you have more now.
Yeah.
You seem to be inundated with homework.
Yeah, it has gone up every year, I've noticed.
Yeah.
I think now, in year 10, we're supposed to get 1 hour per subject per week.
Right, okay.
But the teachers usually put that down to like 30 minutes.
Yeah. And of course, like Sean said in the comment earlier, that all gets logged.
Yeah.
And I often see on my phone, it comes up, Seneca, isn't it?
Yeah, Seneca.
So-and-so teacher has set Elliot a new homework. And it just seems like every 5 minutes. And so you do seem to get a lot of homework.
I do like Seneca, it's useful, but Sparks Maths gets me out in a rage.
Yeah, does it? What don't you like about that?
So you've got questions that aren't related to what you're doing in lessons, first of all, which I guess is good recall, but there. And then you get 2 or 3 chances. It has gotten better because you can swap questions, but it's just a load of nonsense.
Yeah.
I ripped up my book the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I get really angry at Sparks Maths.
That sounds a bit strange. There, Sparks Maths.
Yeah. There's these stupid videos.
Yeah.
People with the most annoying voice.
Put
emphasis. We need to find out the size of angle K. Sort of all that. It's just talk normally.
That sounds a bit of a nightmare.
It is.
So, do you have much of Sparks Maths now then, or not?
It takes me, I'd say, about 40 minutes to 1 hour.
Does it?
Yeah.
Cool.
And now they're saying that on top of that, we need to practice more for recall.
Really? God.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's so many more things nowadays, isn't it? It was pretty basic back in our era.
Yeah.
And there's now so many more extras that have been added in nowadays.
Yeah.
And especially with like the internet and everything like that. What about the old classic lesson, PE? Now, do you like PE?
No.
What don't you like about PE?
I just don't like it because first of all, I just hate rugby and football. I just don't have interest in it. Yeah. And most of my group are like the sporty kids. And then when I'm put in a group with them, they sort of complain like, "Oh God, we've got you on my team.
Really?
We're going to lose." And that's where my bullying is. It's not bullying, but I don't like it.
Yeah, those little snide little comments.
Yeah. The size, and when they see I'm on their team, I just hate it.
Oh.
I could be doing something far more valuable with my time than running about the field, kicking the ball about. And
do you still have to do that now, even though you're doing your options?
Yeah, it used to be twice a week. Now it's only once.
So that's probably enough for you, isn't it? And you're going to get that one out of the way with.
Yeah, one too many.
Oh, that's a shame. That because we used to have. I didn't mind the PE. I used to like the athletics, and the old classic cross country. We should run about in all these muddy areas.
We don't do that anymore.
So we used to quite enjoy that, and of course, it was a bit like we had the classic showers. You had to shower in.
Oh yeah, we don't do that.
Open now. Shower like in front of all your classmates. That was a bit sort of weird, but you don't do that anymore, do you?
Thank
Showers.
God.
So what about that? When you're getting all hot and sweaty, like playing football, what do you do? Do you just go into a changing room or a little cubicle or something, get changed back in your school gear? What happens nowadays?
That pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those sort of subjects, especially cross country. You don't have cross country at all now.
No, we did it in junior school. It was called the Golden Mile. It was essentially cross country. But we don't do that anymore.
And of course, there's a classic. There's a classic school holidays, isn't there?
Yes.
Now, everyone loves the school holidays, don't they?
I'm on my school holidays now.
Yeah, it's half term, isn't it?
Yippee!
That's what I thought. And of course, there's a long summer holidays. That's the best one, isn't it? Those 6 weeks.
Yeah. Bliss.
That's always great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before, which prepares you really for the next year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I used to get a bit annoyed because when it was the summer holidays,
Yeah.
and then I think I've mentioned this to you and your sister. Literally, you go down to the supermarket, all you see is back to school signs.
Oh, yeah.
You've just broken up.
Yeah, for literally first week.
Yeah. And then it's back to school signs. Now, I know these shops, I know they're advertising. It's like getting the Christmas stuff in early or Easter stuff in Jan.
Yeah.
I know they're probably doing that. But as a child, as a school kid, the last thing you want to see is back to school signs. Literally the day you break. You could be walking home.
Yeah.
You know, walking home, getting a bar of chocolate to celebrate having 6 weeks off, and you see massive back to school signs. You think, you know, it gives you a chance to celebrate.
Yeah.
So, with the summer holidays, I mean, what do you like doing now with your friends over the school holidays?
Well, at least once every holidays we try and meet up at the park.
Yeah,
I enjoy that. Yeah.
You're actually meeting up with some of them tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah.
Now, nowadays, of course, you've got the power of social media.
Yeah.
You've got WhatsApp. You've got your little WhatsApp groups. You've got Messenger.
Yeah.
You've got all sorts like that. You can do gaming online as a group.
Yeah.
Can't you? In our day, it was a landline.
Yeah.
Landline phone. And if that didn't work, or if there was no answer, you got on your bike and you bike round to your friend's house. And the classic, knocking on the door, is so-and-so coming out to play?
No, sorry. Off you go.
That's right. That was pretty much it. And, you know, but that was pretty good though, because even, you know, when they come out to play, we used to go out, you know, play football, we used to go for a bike ride.
Yeah.
There was this little thing, a friend of mine, that one friend I had at secondary school, we used to meet up in the school holidays. We used to have little tournaments. I used to have a little 6-foot snooker table. So we start off with that, then we went to the darts, then we had a penalty shootout, then we had a little sprint. We had about 5 or 6 little tournaments. He always used to beat me, unfortunately. But yeah, we sort of did stuff like that.
Yeah, nice.
And outside where I was with now, I suppose that is different with the social media, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And we spoke about your attendance earlier. We're 100% attendance now.
Yeah.
What about skiving, playing truant? Is there any people you can think of at school who are never there?
I know of people who have skipped certain lessons, yeah. In year 6, we did swimming lessons, and that was my least favourite thing I've ever done. On top of rugby and catering, I hated that, dreaded it. One time I did hide in the toilets for most of the lesson. Yeah.
Oh, it's a classic.
And I have considered doing it for PE. Because we do the register before we get changed, so I get the mark.
Right.
They won't notice I'm not there. I don't do anything.
No.
So I'm just hide in the toilets. I might do that next time.
Next
time we're doing rugby, I'm doing that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Could you literally sneak out of school and go home for a little bit?
No, because they lock the doors. Yeah. So I won't be able to get out.
It's a bit like a prison nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's for security with a lot of times and that, but yeah, that's playing truant would be hard to do now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably get away with that more. Definitely back then. And of course, the old classic from our day, behind the bike sheds. People getting up to all sorts behind the bike sheds, kissing, having alcohol, smoking. We used to get up to all sorts behind the bike sheds. So, what happens now behind the bike sheds, Elliot? Is it strictly a no-go zone? Is it monitored? Or, do you see people like vaping at school, for instance, like nowadays?
Not behind the bike sheds, but I've heard of instances of vaping in toilets, yeah.
Yeah, other areas, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but behind the bike shed, that's a clear zone. Nothing happens there.
No, that's all.
Not that I know of.
Any, shady goings-on? Any dealings? anyone sipping alcohol sort of thing that you would know of? You
No.
obviously don't mention names or anything. Just a yes or no would be sufficient.
No.
No,
Not that I know of, but
so
I bet there is.
it's fairly sort of clean with being monitored, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone's monitored more, and you've got CCTV up at school.
Yes.
You have, so that could put them off as well, because obviously we didn't have that back then.
Yeah.
So that would probably put them off as well. What about, we did briefly mention earlier, Elliot, with the punishment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, in our day, you could get expelled or threatened with the cane. But luckily, I never had the cane. I think I only know a couple of people that had the cane. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And by the way, a quick random fact about the cane. Well, I finished school, secondary school in 85. And in 86, the cane was banned. The cane, not the can. The cane was banned in the UK in 1986. But took longer to ban in private schools.
Really?
Yeah. It was 1998 in England, 2000 in Scotland and Wales, and 2003 in Northern Ireland when they finally banned the cane. Now,
that's late for child abuse.
It is a bit. It is a bit. So your punishments now, instead of the cane or slipper, what do you get?
Well, there's different things. If you're late, you get an L1. I don't know what happens. I think it just goes on the system. If you don't do your homework, you get a H1 and you have to do it like after the lesson or whatever. There's C1, the 15-minute detention.
Yeah.
C2 used to be 40-minute detention, but now if you get a C2, they put you in the next classroom.
Right. So do you get confused with C1, B2, L5?
I do.
That sounds like a game. It sounds like a computer game. Or it sounds like you're playing battleships.
It does. It's confusing. There's something called a CY3.
Is it?
I don't know what that
is.
What
the hell? Does everyone have a little list of all these numbers?
They
shout
must.
bingo or something like that.
They must do. Now, homework isn't called homework. It's independent study. Because people weren't necessarily doing it at home. I haven't heard a more stupid thing.
No.
But there's something called an independent study support session, an ISSS. And my history teacher, she called it the International Space Station. And none of the teachers know. They're like, oh, that's an ISSS or whatever it is now. They don't know what's going on.
Oh dear. I can imagine. It must be so confusing for the teachers. And for the pupils, let alone the pupils, for the teachers as well. Yeah. Is it changing? Are they constantly changing their punishments?
They are. Always coming up with new stuff.
See, that's the annoying thing nowadays. They keep changing things, right? And in a lot of places, they just keep on changing and adding things in.
Yeah.
And it just makes it confusing.
Yeah, I mean, with the homework, we keep changing platforms what we do it on. Because it didn't used to be Sparks Maths, it used to be Hegarty Maths, but I think that changed over. We've gone from Seneca to Sparks to K-Science. Yeah. There's just always something changing.
Well, that is annoying. That is a sign of the times for definite. With things changing constantly, like back in the 80s, 90s, it was pretty much basic. Expelled, obviously before 86, the slipper or the cane, and detentions, of course. So yeah, none of this algebra with C5, 8, 2, X, Y, Z, alphabet, rubbish, total rubbish. So that definitely is a massive thumbs down for nowadays. The punishment system, because I think they should strip all of that and start again. Keep it basic.
Yeah.
Have punishment 1 to 5. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just gets confusing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a massive one there. Oh, what about Elliot? After school clubs?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we really had many in our day. We might have had the odd one or two where you could stay on late and learn a little bit extra.
Yeah.
But overall, I think you seem to have more choice with after-school clubs.
There's a lot. I've done quite a few. Ones I do now, Science Club, which I've been doing since year 7, I think.
Yep.
Further maths, which is something set up by the East Maths community.
Right.
Extra GCSE.
Okay.
And triple science. So an extra hour.
So what exactly is triple science?
Well, it's just an extra lesson a week, really, because there's more content for triple students. So we have to fit it in.
Okay. Yeah, so that has changed slightly, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The sciences in general. And that's obviously
Yeah.
on your blazer, isn't it?
Yeah,
That
science. badge. I used to do tennis club, but they stopped that.
Right.
Chess club, art club, and engineering.
Are they all still going?
I know art and engineering are.
Yeah.
There's no chess club.
And you pretty much do an after-school club every day, don't you?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
But if they brought back tennis and chess, I'd do them.
Yeah.
If it was Monday, Friday.
That would be. I can imagine that'd be sort of quite fun because especially the chess.
Yeah, they should do a. Well, if they do tennis club, I prefer table tennis. That's something I enjoy in PE.
Oh,
I'd do
that'd be
that
good.
table tennis.
Have you got a table tennis court at school?
Yeah, there's the tables in the cupboard.
Oh, good. And that's certainly nowadays it's better, isn't it, with the after-school clubs? Now, I've always thought an extra little lesson. I've mentioned this before a few times. I always think they should have maybe a life skills lesson. I mean, I'd love to come in and personally do that. I could teach people about like recycling.
Yeah.
Just how to pay a bill.
Yeah.
How to check oil in your car.
Stuff you need to know.
Change a light bulb. Just these sort of things that they don't teach you at school. But you don't know about this, Elliot. I've got these are 10 weird facts for kids, right? So just simply say yes or no.
Okay.
If you've heard of these weird facts, which could be future life skills, a one-off like half an hour weekly lesson. So
a mini game in a podcast.
Yeah, a mini game. Simply yes or no. Weird fact number 1: Australia. Have you been taught these? Number 1: Australia is wider than the moon.
Yes.
You have.
Yes.
You've been taught that one. Wow.
Not at school.
No.
I found that on something.
Oh, okay.
But no for school. But yes,
No for school. Okay. Number 2: Switzerland prohibits the ownership of just one guinea pig.
No for school, yes for knowledge.
Oh, okay. And number 3: a shrimp's heart is in its head. Did they teach you that at school?
No.
Oh, so that could be another life skill. Number 4: sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins.
No.
5: Venus and Uranus are the only planets that spin clockwise.
No.
Did you know that?
No.
That's it. That could be another little life skill. Number 6: honey never spoils.
Oh, yeah. Yes for knowledge, no for school.
Okay, yep. And 7: the longest walking distance in the world is 14,100 miles.
Wow. No.
Teach you that in geography?
No.
8: you'll laugh at this one. A chicken once lived more than a year without a head.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't learn that.
That's an interesting life fact. Maybe.
Yeah.
9: there's a planet mostly made from diamond.
Oh, no.
And 10: octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood.
Yes.
You knew that one?
Yes,
Okay.
we were told that.
Well, if there was a little random life skills a week, it would be fun.
That would be good.
Just having 30 minutes once a week, I reckon everyone would quite enjoy that.
Yeah.
And everyone could come in with their own little fact or little fun fact.
Yeah.
It could be a little break from the monotony of lesson, and rules and regulations and the homework. And you'll say, oh, we've got life skills next. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Just a little break.
We've got PSHE, Personal Social Health Education.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's sort of along the lines of...
Yeah, that could be. And that could be, of course, RE as well, religious education.
Oh, yeah.
We've sort of, I think I did have that as well, that subject, obviously, religious education. Have you had much of that, religious education?
That was once a fortnight in the previous years.
Ah, was it?
But now it's an option, and I don't do it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we've got a couple of comments here. Folks, next one from Andrea Richmond. Well, she actually had a secondary school living out in Bahrain.
Oh.
Yeah. but on the last year, came back to the UK. And in Bahrain, they were teaching American history.
Oh.
So she'd been learning all about American history, and then had to come back to the UK for that last year, that all-important year when you're taking the exams, and completely change it.
Yeah.
I think she managed to just about pass.
Yeah.
But that must have been tough, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A massive catch-up. And also a lot of people in general. So a lot of people move around schools, don't they? Say if their parents work or their dad has different jobs. Some people have multiple schools, don't they?
There's a lot of people leaving.
Throughout the school year. So that must be tough for that individual.
Yeah.
You know, you're just getting settled into a routine. You're getting settled into your options. You're learning stuff. You're making your friends. You're getting to like the teachers. Then all of a sudden, right, son, we're off to Scunthorpe. You know, and you've got to start all over again.
Yeah. Progress lost.
Yeah, that must affect the child.
Yeah, must be.
Yeah, because you know, we were in the process of moving in my final year when all the bullying stopped. You know, so I still couldn't get a run because we were in between houses. So yeah, that must affect people. And then we've got another comment here from your mother. Hello, evening, Donna.
Evening, morning, or afternoon, depending on when you listen.
She gets very annoyed at this, but she says, school reports. They were much more personalised, school reports in our day. Now, your mother's like 4 years younger than me, so roughly her secondary school year was 89, sort of that era, around mid 14, 15 age group. And the teachers used to write about the child. And I remember that. The teachers used to actually write a little comment or a few little paragraph maybe about that child and what they thought or how they could improve. Whereas nowadays, it's just numbers.
It is just numbers.
And it sounds really confusing.
Yeah, it does. You've got your current grade and your target grade and your predicted grade and your attitude to learning and your attendance and your reward points. Just loads of numbers.
So that sounds pretty horrendous, to be honest with you. And if you don't know what they're all about, you're just going to pick it up. And it'll just be looking like lottery ticket or just a whole load of letters totally jumbled up like some messed up Scrabble game.
Yeah.
With a whole load of letters.
Yeah. That's not a report, that's a Wi-Fi code.
That is. That is. Yeah, multiple Wi-Fi codes on your school reports nowadays. So definitely a thumbs up for the school reports in our day, years ago, rather than the school reports now.
Yes.
What you've got. And she also says, she mentioned about, and why has the grading system on GCSEs changed? It used to be A to F, didn't it?
Yeah.
And now it's just numbers from 1 to 9, which she finds very annoying and confusing. And I can understand that. Why do they keep on changing things nowadays?
I don't know.
That is, the A to F, that was quite easy, straightforward to understand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, like increasing it. Sort of, once like, and she does also say, bring back prefects.
Oh.
Especially the tie. Now, Caister Academy, your mum was at Caister Academy too, and she remembers the prefect's tie it was navy, and with the yellow castle on it.
Lovely.
That's great. Well, thanks for all the comments there, folks. We are heading toward. We've been a long time. We've done a record podcast now. It's nearly an hour.
Yeah.
Now, anything else, Elliot?
I have actually got a few things.
Yes.
I've got 4 actually.
Okay.
Number 1, assemblies.
Yep, assemblies.
Boring.
Yep.
That's it.
They are.
Boring.
Are they? Do you think they're a bit of a waste of time?
Yes.
And what do they normally talk about now?
It used to be sort of stuff happening like World Religion Day, some important stuff, yeah. But now they just sort of seem to be going over the rules, like they don't know what else to talk about. Although reward assemblies are good, but it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing going up in front of everyone.
Yeah. But with your normal assembly then, do you have that every morning?
Once a week.
Just once a week?
Yeah.
Is that a good chance to fall asleep?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Have you ever had a little doze during assembly? Have you closed your eyes? Could you get away with it?
No, but I've been close to.
Oh, I can imagine. And of course there's work experience.
Yes, I've got that in June,
Yeah,
end of June.
your first ever work experience.
Yes.
And which would be good. You're doing a little bit of like teaching, aren't you? Well, assistant teaching.
Yes. Teacher
assistant local school, which would be really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I did insurance. I was at an insurance place for, I think it was for a week or 3 weeks, and I was just like doing a bit of filing in the cabinets, making teas.
Yeah.
Quite enjoyed that. And then further on, there was a couple of shops, Double H Smiths and at Debenhams as well. That was when I was further education in sixth form. So, but that's, of course, that'll be the progression, isn't it? That could be another subject, another time. Sixth form, college, universities, further education. Yeah, this is just our take on secondary education today. So, are you looking forward to your work experience?
I am, but I'm also nervous.
Yeah, I can imagine. It can be a bit nervy. All of a sudden, taken out of your comfort zone, taken away from your friends and your teachers and your day-to-day stuff. All of a sudden, like, you're going to work now. And, of course, some places, they do. I know you do it, like, for nothing sort of thing or for the experience, but some places do give you something. I think I was given, like, a little bit of money. I think I was given, like, a 20 quid for the week, which is, back then, that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You know, so you might sort of get a little something out of it, but it'll be quite a bit of experience for you to put on your CVs. Anything else, Elliot?
Two more things, just quickly, because we are at an hour now. Parents' evening. Parents' evening,
yeah. That's a bit of a classic, isn't it?
I like Parents' evening.
Yeah, I like Parents' evening. It's a good chance. I know I haven't been to the last, I didn't go to the last one, but I think I went to the previous one with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with ours in my day, mainly my mother used to go, I think, when she was around. And, that was quite a good way to
see where you are.
Yeah. And you always get, obviously, a really good report from your teachers. It's nice to put a face to those teachers.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, and it's pretty, is that fairly well organised nowadays? I think it is, isn't it?
Yes, although the timing can sometimes be a bit off.
Yeah.
Because we've got scheduled slots.
Right.
And if one teacher takes an extra few minutes, even just 5 minutes, then the whole thing's messed up.
Yeah, I
and it can be like a 20-minute extension.
That's it, because your last parents' evening, when I picked you both up, you were like 20 minutes late, you and mother, weren't you? Coming out, because they must have overran.
The first one we were going to, she was like an extra 10 minutes of someone else.
Really?
So, yeah, it was all messed up.
It wasn't like that programme last night. What programme did we watch? Oh, we watched MRB and Unreasonable, wasn't it? With the parents' evening, with the bell after 3 minutes, or was it Amandaland?
That was Amandaland.
Yeah, that's it. With the parents' bell after 3 minutes, and right in mid-sentence, the bell goes, and you've got to move on. So
that's not
quite as bad as that, is it?
No.
So, but yeah, I'd say overall, parents' evening, they've pretty progressed with times and everything, and the booking in and who to see. There's probably more choice than there was back then. I think there might have been a letter back in my day.
Yeah.
With it written on a letter, probably. There was no emails, no text. Nothing like that. So it's probably maybe progressed a little bit for the better now.
Yeah,
I'd say. Is there any? I know there's probably loads more stuff we can chat about schools, folks. But we trying to keep it basic, aren't we? And
trying.
Any more, Elliot?
One major thing I think we should talk about: exams.
Oh, of course, exams. Yes, definitely. And you'll be heading towards your exams. Well, you're studying for them now, aren't you? You've just had your mock exams.
Yeah, my first set of proper mocks.
Yeah, now you studied hard for these, didn't you?
Yeah.
And pretty much, it was 2 weeks of mock exams, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we all went into the sports hall, because that's the biggest room. And there's all the tables and the rows. Again, like battleships. D6, D4. Yeah.
And in your mocks, you have to have like a clear
pencil case, clear water bottle.
So were you quite nervous about your mock exams?
I was, but once I did the first few, it was fine. Before we go in, we put our bags and coats in a cage, and then we had to be scanned for any mobile phones.
Right. Yeah.
That was quite funny.
Cool. Yeah, I can imagine. And you sort of revised hard as well, didn't you? How do you
Yeah.
think you did overall in your mock exams?
I think I did quite well, especially in history.
So they can be a bit scary, can't they?
Yeah. Because if you open the page and you've forgotten the stuff, it can be quite overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be. And then, of course, but when it comes to your actual exams yourself, like, I remember those, you have your desk, everyone's quiet.
Yeah.
You have someone sitting up the end, watching you, handing out the papers, and then you have it a certain way, don't you? So you can't see anything.
Yeah.
And say, right, everybody, please turn over your papers.
Yeah. Oh, they did have, every single time it got really boring, like a 5-minute recorded examination speech.
God.
It was so boring. This speech applies to all written examinations taken during the 2024-2025 academic year. Just babbling on.
It sounds... Of course, what about if your pen ran out? Well, I mean, in your pencil case, can you take multiple pens?
Yeah, they say to take at least 2.
Right, and if you did run out for some reason or anything, could you put your hand up?
Yeah, the exam invigilator.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Well, sounds like you did quite well in your mocks. Can't really remember my mocks or my exams much.
Fair enough.
That was quite a long time ago, but I remember the basics of it.
Yeah.
Turn over the paper. We all did the best to our ability. I probably did okay, to be honest, even though I had a few problems at school. Got back then, of course, it was the old CSEs, and that changed to the GCSEs a couple of years later. So we sort of had that. Do you know what GCSE stands for?
I don't. Something examinations.
Yeah, it stands for General Certificate of Secondary Education.
Oh, education.
And the old CSE stood for Certificate of Secondary Education.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
So I basically got I think I got about 5 CSEs, and it was graded 1 to 5. So 1 was the highest. So I got between 3 and 5 in about 5 subjects of the old CSEs. And then, of course, 2 years later, I changed to the current GCSEs. So I got about 4 or 5 passes.
Yeah.
And further education, I went on to get other stuff. So it wasn't sort of too bad overall. And so that was that one. Anything else, Elliot?
I think that's everything. We could ramble on for another hour. But,
I think we could.
I don't think anyone.
I think everyone would be kicked out of school or expelled by them, won't they? If we keep on going on, or the cane would be brought back.
Yeah.
I think they would get the cane on ourselves, just to say, "Shut up! Stop talking about school. Let's go home." Oh,
home time.
Oh, is that the school bell? That's the school bell. Way! It's home time. It's home time.
That was a long bell.
That was a long bell. Oh, what's your bell like? Because I do hear it.
4 or 5 dings. They keep changing it. One time it was the Lidl sound. Do, do, do. Everyone kept going, check out number 3, please.
Oh, dear, so we've had little bits of fun. Well, yeah. Well, folks, basically, here we go. Basically, wow, Elliot, what can we say about that?
I don't know. 1 hour and 8 minutes.
That's our longest ever podcast, and we could have sat here chatting for hours, really, couldn't we, about that?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
But yeah, we hope you enjoyed our little chat about school days, trying to compare.
I wouldn't say little.
Yeah, compare 80s, 90s school, really, or before that to now.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Thanks for tonight, Elliot.
Thank you.
Enjoy that J2O I got you.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much from it, do you? Have to put your prices up, mate. And then, you get a nice little bit, don't you? A little bit of fibre here and there. Helps you out, doesn't it? And,
it does.
But anyway, thanks for listening, folks.
Thank you.
If you want to see a picture of Elliot's blazer as well, there is a photo on our Facebook page, Everyday Life Podcast on Facebook. Just type that in.
Big if.
Yeah, and in the meantime, enjoy your everyday life.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.